All right, so I'm at the Orioles game last Tuesday. Pulled out a big win against Toronto, and God damn, was it hot! Just
Yeah.
just a slip and slide down the middle of my back. I even so much so I was even trying to get Sarah to like, hey, put your hand up my back. Like, no,
Oh.
no,
Yeah.
no. I think I just wanted someone else in this world to identify with just how sweaty I was.
Let me tell you something, sir. I was out working in it for fucking 6 hours. I've been in it every goddamn day this summer, so I feel your pain. I'm glad you were out enjoying it, though, at a ball game of festivities with alcohol and, the possibility of shade. You were there on your own will.
It's all right.
I was there to help afford my mortgage.
All right, so sometime between like the second, third, fourth inning, I don't exactly remember what it was. Maybe it was between the top and the bottom of the third. My home beer, my walking beer to the stadium, and my first beer at the stadium kick in. Got to take a piss. Get to the urinal and do my usual zipper down. Go to flush it out. I'm like, damn, what the hell? And I start literally like entire hand in my zipper, going up and down. I was like, wait a minute. So I put my hand down my rear end and I was like, oh, I put my boxers on backwards. God damn it. First time as adult in my life. And I found out in the bathroom at a urinal at Camden Yards. I'm pretty sure the two guys, both to the right and left of me, thought I was playing with myself, especially when my hand went up my rear end. They thought, oh, this guy didn't get enough by playing with himself. Now he's got to diddle his sphincter.
So wait, hold on. This is the best part of this, though. Like, you officially had to confirm that you put them on backwards in that moment. You couldn't just... Okay, now, listen. You and Alan in the past have given me shit for the way I used to pee, which I still think is the proper way to pee, where you actually unbuckle your belt, you unbutton your pants, you unzip your pants, and you unfurl by taking the entire top of your elastic, both of them, down, allowing your cock and balls to flop fully out and then just go. That's the natural, real way to actually pee. You could have just done that and then just been like, next time round, I'm going to the stall and seeing what happened.
I know. I think I was just so appalled at myself for making, I don't know. It's an uncommon mistake, right? I mean, this isn't something that's done. There's probably some psychological disorder that's like, it's something that we can't pronounce. It's 16 letters long and 4 syllables. And, that's like, oh man, constantly put your underwear on backwards. Anyway, I don't know. I had a nice buzz going on. I was like, damn it. And went, oh, yep, you put them on backwards. So I went to the stall and I debated for a second and I was like, I'm not taking my shoes off. I'm not sitting down on this thing and lifting up.
Wait, hold on. What was your psychology at that moment? What were you planning on doing?
Well, when I went to the stall was to like verify what I had like 90% verified, that I did in fact put them on backwards. And I was sick of digging around in my ass in front of 20 grown men at a ball game.
Okay, this is a psychological disorder. Like you had so it was ingrained in your DNA that you had to confirm that you put the pants on backwards.
Well, I was sick of like trying to fish my member out through my boxers it wasn't going to happen because there's no hole there in the front. Then I had to figure out how I was going to take a piss.
You pull your fucking boxers down, man. What are you doing?
Well, I did that in the stall.
You couldn't do it at the urinal?
Well, again, by the time I had gotten to the stall and 100% verified that my boxers were on backwards, I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm here. Because I was debating fixing it.
You were gonna all right. So you just talked about how you were gonna do like prank Sarah by having her stick her hand up your sweaty ass back where there was a Nile River of just goo juice flowing down it. Mm-hmm. Where do you think that was emptying out into, huh? Where do you think that reservoir was leading? Right
That's
to
a good
the
point.
Ass crack, which would be the front now, the front of your boxers, which are on backwards, right at your asshole, which you have now just juiced up. You've been sitting in a fucking dirty Camden Yards bleacher seat, chugging down beer in the hot sun, and then you were debating about taking that and putting that around to the front and letting old happy-go-lately dance around in that?
Well, yeah, I was, because I didn't feel like doing this repeatedly if I was going to have more beers than piss. I wanted to correct things. And that doesn't really matter. Sweaty junk touching my sweaty rear end touching my junk.
No, I think sweaty taint juice is a lot different than just sweaty ball juice. I mean, I think
Sure.
I think too. The juice running down from the front is going to mix. There's going to be a confluence of juices at some point, all kind of like located in the same general black hole region of your anus, wherever your anus is touching your boxers as you sit down. I don't feel like you want to put that in the pee hole vicinity.
Okay, so I didn't. I urinated.
Not because you didn't want to, because you just couldn't figure it out physically.
Well, no, because I didn't feel like sitting down on a fucking stall toilet seat that had been pissed all over, and take my shoes off.
You don't have to take your shoes off.
Yeah, I'm not. How the hell am I going to turn my boxer briefs around without getting them off my feet?
You can do it with your shoes on. I do it all the time. When I'm at work, I go run in the park, and I have to take my shorts off and then put on another pair of shorts, so I'm not wearing my work shorts while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's physically possible. I'm telling you.
Okay.
You got to point your shoe in. You got to point your foot in a direction, but it'll come off and go around.
I didn't feel like running. I didn't feel like having to arc my feet up to keep my shorts off the floor at the bathroom. All right, I didn't feel like doing all that mess, so I just left it as was, and I pissed like you peed previously the rest of the day.
Good. I'm so sorry that this very first world issue of yours. Yeah, there's some countries where ain't got no underwears. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look, this is such a Wow. No, you should seek I think medical attention for some of this.
Medical attention, maybe psychological. Well,
Yeah.
when we snuck up the last 3 innings in the club level, and I debated it doing there, but I was like, I don't know, man. I'm pot committed. I'm okay.
Yeah, dude. I'm sad for you, and I get it. Listen, I got my own problems. We both know this. Okay, this just isn't one of them. It's just it's weird when you hear somebody that has an issue in a department that you have no issue with, and you're like, oh my god, dude, you're tormented. You're suffering in something that just it doesn't need to be. There are so many things I pine on, and this would have been like, put my boxers on backwards, boop-de-doo.
I was mad at myself. Mad that I made mad that like 2 guys to the right and left of me watched me fish around with my entire hand in my zipper fly. Like, what the hell? These guys are like, does that guy have no dick? Does that guy have a micro penis or something? And honestly, just to get back to like the possibility of changing or swapping them out in the stall, which again, I debated. There was a moment where I thought the bottom half of the back of my khaki shorts that I was wearing would touch the pee floor.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then saturate it. And then I could feel that touching the back of my quads, or the back of my knee as I walked out. And I was like, I don't feel like feeling like that.
Yeah,
I'll feel the way I feel now without feeling that.
Yeah, that's fair. But I can just tell you that I pull this maneuver off 5 to 6 days a week in the back of a mail truck without sitting down. So I'm just telling you, it's possible. It can be done. I'll teach you. You know what? You and I will just go. We'll stand in a living room somewhere, and I'll listen. I'll teach you how to take your pants and underwear off without
That's
touching.
lovely.
Without
Sounds like a
touching the
good
floor.
time.
Yeah.
Book it. Kick the kid and the wife out. This is going to be an all guys thing.
Oh no, they're watching.
They're watching. Yeah, great.
Everybody's learning all at once.
Uncle Wes is meeting my son for the first time. We're going to do a manly thing, each a manly chore. Middle Class Holes, Foxman and Murr. No Alan tonight, could not make it. He will possibly be back next week, to be determined. Came across this. Actually, you sent me this, and this is groundbreaking, folks. Hold on to your seats. If you got hats, take them off because the wind is going to blow them off. If you got a toupee, strap that fucker down. Because
And if you got a handful of mushrooms, fucking chomp them fuckers right now.
Chomp them down. Despite decades of evidence to the contrary, Nintendo, that's right, our old entertainment system creator, old Nintendo, has insisted that Mario and Princess Peach's relationship status is, quote, it's not complicated, but simply in the friend zone. Earlier this week, the company posted an update to Nintendo Today app. I didn't know that was Nintendo Today app, saying Princess Peaches and Mario are good friends and help each other out whenever they can. I think the first thing I said to you was bullshit.
Yeah, and I was so grateful that was the first response, bullshit. Because, all right, let's break this down. Let's break this Princess Peach Mario relationship down. We gotta get back.
What? Well, I have a question, but yeah, let's break down the relationship.
Okay, let's go back to the 1980s. Okay, you're telling me that there was such a thing as a platonic male-female relationship in like the early 1980s when these characters were created? I say bullshit. No, there was always going to be some love triangle tension thing going on. You got Bowser, you got Mario, you got Peach. If Mario's not interested, why the fuck does he give a shit whether she marries Bowser? I got more on this, but what's break your end down.
In the same vein, was Bowser just trying to win over a platonic friend for his own?
Right.
It was or no, Mario, as being in the friend zone, realized that Bowser was trying to, be a little more pushy and physical than a romance that a friend would allow another friend to get into.
I almost feel like it's like the Biff George McFly relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like George is like, he was just so much of a pussy and a pushover that like he was just willing to let Lorraine just kind of like, oh well, and then Biff Bowser just moves right on in. It's like, well, I'll take her.
That's right. I've always dreamt of Princess Peaches. My question is, okay. This came via an app. I didn't know Nintendo Today exists, but folks, if you're trying to,
I'll tell you this. Listen, as the father of a child with a Switch, like Nintendo Today, they do like news updates via the company on an app on the it's just part of the software built into the game, and they're look, man, they want to keep they got to keep them fed. So they got to come up with some new shit every goddamn day. It's just what's happened to the actual news is they got to figure out something to plant in your brain every day to get you thinking about them.
Okay. So what are they looking to accomplish by announcing this? Was there some long-standing debate about whether or not it was romance versus friend zone and Nintendo's clearing the air? Or did Nintendo just finally, 40 some odd years later catch wind that the faithful just assumed that it was Mario and Princess were like, oh, no.
No. Very friendly. Very friendly. Not that friendly, but friendly.
Yeah. What are they setting out to accomplish? Unless it's just more clicks and debates and people like us talking about it.
Well, I don't know. Is it a purity contest? I mean, is it a sexist thing? And you don't want to make it political, but I feel like they're making it political by bringing it up because I feel like everybody of our generation, and maybe that's a generational thing, maybe everybody from our generation is like, when's Mario gonna fuck that Peach? You know what I mean? And now you've got a newer, younger, innocent generation. You're like, no. Boys and girls can be friends. They can be best friends, and best friends do everything for each other. But I would just say that the consequences on the line between Mario and Princess Peach are much bigger than friend zone consequences here. Because if you really think about it, if you break it down from a utilitarian perspective, once every 3 years, Bowser's about to take over the entirety of the Mushroom Kingdom, and so he tries to take over the princess so he can get that one last realm to complete the fucking puzzle. And so if Mario was like, listen, Peach, I think you should marry him so at least half the world's not destroyed every 3 years, you guys can rule in tandem. Bowser, your husband now, can rule this half with an iron fist. You can convince him, as his wife, to leave this half a very friendly, peaceful zone, and at least there's like a black and white here going on instead of like just trauma all the time, and I don't have to keep saving your ass, putting my life on the line, and praying that these toads actually come up with something crafty to save the day for me. I'm done with it. I'm your friend. I'm telling you, marry Bowser. You want nothing to do with me, and I'm done saving you.
Yeah, and the plumbing bill is a bill now. It's not free of charge. When I come to fix the plumbing... That's, I was just say, this is like the premises of a bad porno too. Plumber wins the princess over. I guess like the test of time through movies, books, video games, what have you, and entertainment is man wins the woman. Right? Overcome supersonic odds. And if we're getting into this argument about, yes, men and women can be friends. Okay, we live in a different time, and that's okay. I won't debate that. But I think we could get a lot of responses about shameless acts men have done to get laid.
100%.
Driving across states drunk.
That's very specific. Thank you. What I'll say is this. Okay, let's say Peach wants to keep it platonic. You can't tell me that Mario is... you can't tell me Mario's cool with this.
Mm.
Like, whatever news that just got released, I feel like some fucking bushy-browed fucking plumber just sat up in his bed this morning and was like, oh, like, Mario's in it for something here. Okay, there has to be some even implied sexual tension in order for the story to continue to be relevant. Because if it's just friends doing favors for each other, I just feel like you might have just hurt the franchise big time.
Yeah.
I think guys like us who are look, man, the Mario games are still good. They're still good. Every year they get a little more complicated, but it's still the same general principle, and I look forward to playing them. But if it's just this, like, what we're going to go on a friend's adventure, no, man, there's got to be... It shouldn't have to be a helpless princess. They proved that with the movie. I don't know if you watched the movie. I assume you haven't.
No, but I'm aware.
Peach is very capable of, but she needs help. She does,
Mm-hmm.
and Mario's there to help. But there's also this implied Mario... If Princess Peach in the movie was like, oh, Mario, I don't know, is there something here? Mario would fucking... he would...
Yeah. Oing, oing.
Yeah, there'd be some magic in that mushroom, I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. And
let's be honest. You know how men are. If Mario is like, hey, she's a friend, Luigi would be like, oh yeah, you cool? You cool with me? You cool with me winning that one over?
100%. But what's wrong with... Okay, what's wrong with having a love interest? Can't we teach kids that, like, I don't know, man, that love is like the one thing that you go to the ends of the earth for? Shouldn't that be like a new, like a renewed theme in the world? That was always the theme of every movie that it came out all the way up until probably 2015. And now everything's got to be a gray zone.
From the time men were breaking rocks with other rocks to today, men have been doing things to impress women.
Have you seen birds dance?
Yeah. Have you seen alligators shake the water?
Have you seen David Lee Roth circa 1985?
Yeah, God. Why did he die? Damn it. Oh, he did die. Sorry.
David Lee Roth's alive.
Oh, wait, was it Van Halen? Never mind. Sorry.
No, me and your brother talk about this all the time. Like, I would like to do an SNL skit where, like, two dudes are, like, find out that David Lee Roth's at, like, a local bar. It's like, and they walk in, and it's a biker bar, and David Lee Roth is dressed in spandex with his chest hair hanging out, and everybody wants to beat up David Lee Roth for being a sissy. And like, David Lee Roth's like the manliest, and they're on the way to the bar. They're like, David Lee Roth's like the manliest man that's ever been. They walk in, it's like, hey guys, let's give it a bop.
or pulls like a Blues Brothers and wins him over. All right, I gotta change up the set here.
Men have done unmanly things since the beginning of time just to prove that, like, their vaunted efforts towards women are valuable. And that's, to me, that's what the original Mario game is. At the end of the day, do you want to have someone be manly enough to just go save someone because it's the right thing to do? Sure. But has Mario not proven his loyalty enough through the last 40 fucking years? I say yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I did this. Again, this goes back to my question about what are you looking to accomplish? And I just don't get it. You're right. There has to be love interest. Even if it's one of those things where they say, yeah, there's love interest, but, maybe it's not a happy ending. Maybe he wins it. He defeats Bowser. They walk the kingdom and she goes, thank you, Mario, and kisses him on the forehead. He goes, oh, that's it? Well, okay. I guess that's it. I tried.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing, though. In most Mario games, when Mario finally saves her, she does give him like a peck on the cheek. And what happens? What's his expression?
It's a love bubble, right?
Yeah, and he gets like starry-eyed and his eyes get huge and he's like, Mamma Mia! And that's what makes Mario keep coming back. He gets a little bit of sugar and he gets sweeter every time. And all he wants is to fucking put a little sugar in that tank. And that's what keeps him coming back for more and keeps coming back to save her.
Unless it's Mario Kart, then he's trying to drive that bitch off the road.
Goddamn right.
Get the fuck out of the way, bitch.
Put a shell up your ass, bitch. No, I don't know, man. I don't know what the purpose of this is. I feel like it might be one of those deals to kind of satisfy a certain category of people in the world right now that don't want this over sexualization. I don't know. Is it over sexualization, or is it just that men? Look, listen. I don't know how to put this any other way, but like, are there outliers to the rule that men desire women and vice versa? I know men desire men. I know women desire women. I know there's other categories of things that are too numerous at this point in our world to name. But at the heart of things, when it comes to people making in this world, is the majority not still men desire women, and men will go to the ends of the earth for the woman that they love? And we can demonize that all we want.
Yeah.
That's still a very admirable fucking trait and has gotten civilization to the point we're at right now.
Yeah, any Disney or animated animation about regarding a princess, it's a commoner who isn't a prince trying to win her over, trying to become the mate.
Yeah, that I'm above these social statuses, and I like my love for you will conquer all, like even wealth or genetics.
Yeah.
Like, look at Shrek.
Yeah, I was just about to bring up Shrek. Yeah. Fucking disgusting ogre. And she's like, yeah, I love it. I love this love.
Yeah, and then they had to make her an ogre just to fucking make the story work. Like, because they had to do the Superman 2 in what was that, Shrek 2 or 3? Like where Shrek gives up his Shrek powers to become like a handsome prince, and then it's like, oh shit, Fiona's now a fucking ogre too, and Shrek's like, well, fuck, what did I do all this for?
Yeah, drinks the potion. Yeah, they kind of merge together a little bit, but I get the point. So, yeah, Nintendo, you might have to change up your story here in a few, unless you're going to get some weird love triangle where it's Luigi and Mario tag teaming her and Princess Toadstool cucking, you know. And Yoshi's tongue just comes out of left field.
Grabbing a few extra cherries, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
are there's wrenches in your pocket and you just happen to see me? Oh.
Final word on this would be, if there's nothing in it for Mario, this is not his world. It's not his land. It's some parallel universe that he continues to stumble into. And if at some point, does he not have to just be like, look, lady, either come back to my world and I'll show you a good time, or I can't keep putting my life on the line, because I feel like this trope just keeps happening over and over and over. We're in a cycle here, and I'm tired of saving your ass if you don't want anything to do with me. So my way of being a friend is saying, grab your little toady friends, get in that fucking pipe, let Bowser have this thing, and we can be like Made in Manhattan in New York City. Otherwise, have a good one.
I'm a foreman now. I don't even really have to. I just push papers. Other people plumb. My knees are bad.
I'm union. Union. I can't get fired. I'll die here.
I'm the VP of Area 56, Northern Manhattan. All right, folks. Well, that hashes that one out. Stick around for this week's Friend or Foe.
Like a warm, creamy chutney. Get ready for another spoonful of the Middle Classholes.
All right, let's get to it. I am going to read a news story to you, see if you agree or disagree. Friend or foe? I personally feel like this is an easy friend or foe, but it has to do with AI, and it has to do with going to your doctor. So forget Dr. Google. Americans are turning to artificial intelligence for their health needs. According to a survey of 2,000 U.S. adults, a little more than a third, being 35%, already use AI to learn about and manage aspects of their health and wellness. The top uses for the technology include to get insight on specific medical conditions or issues, to help with weekly meals and recipes, to learn about new exercise routines, and for emotional and therapeutic support. Now, I will say that I don't know if I'm necessarily down with AI for therapeutic and emotional support, but I guess if you don't have anyone to talk to, a computer to talk to might work out better than nothing. But through relatively new, which is the name of something, trust in AI is fairly high, with 63% finding it trustworthy for health information and guidance, scoring higher than social media and influencers, but lower than doctors. Thankfully, 93% still trust doctors So 63 versus 93 AI to doctors. And actually, friends are pretty high. Like, if I was to ask you a question for some advice, I give you an 82% trust rank. So, again, AI 63% trust level, friends 82% trust level, doctors 93% trust level. But the fact that it's at 63 now is, I don't know if it's concerning. I don't know if there's anything to be concerned about that. But AI, trusting AI for medical research, medical questions, medical diagnoses, friend or foe. Friend is, yeah, sure. At this point, I feel like AI has read all the literature, so it's going to give you some pretty solid insight, probably as much insight as a nurse practitioner is going to give you at an urgent care. Or foe. No, these people studied this stuff. There's new information every day, and it's always good to have hands-on physician-style treatment. So no, AI needs to take a backseat to this thing. Friend or foe? Wes.
It'd be interesting. A conspiracy theorist would probably tell you if AI is just reading all the medical literature, it's not to be trusted. I would be interested to see the amount of people who don't have, of these 2,000 U.S. adults who don't have a regular physician. You know what I mean? They just go to minute clinics or things of that nature when health concerns pop up, or if something more major, something more serious happens, and they go to an ER or something like that. But, they don't get the regular 6-month checkup, blood work, et cetera, because if that's the case, you should at least be doing something. And as we all know, there's something harmful in confirmation bias, where if you just dig deep enough into Reddit forums, you're going to come across someone that gives you the answer that you want to hear. And you're like, yeah, that's good. There you go.
But you're talking, hold on, real quick though. But you're talking Reddit forums. This is like ChatGPT or Grok.
I know, but I used Reddit kind of as a overarching example for people who just scour the internet to get the answer that they want. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't have cancer, and then if you dig deep enough, someone's gonna one in a million person's gonna have something similar and be like, oh yeah, it definitely wasn't. It was just I don't know, shingles or something.
It was a cyst under the skin.
Yeah, and we lanced it or something. I'll friend it simply because if obviously paying attention to yourself and your personal well-being from a health standard, that's good. You should be doing that. But always go to your physician. Always. Chatting with your friends is like, I get that, man, but like, unless someone has something very, very similar to what you're dealing with and can give you a sound advice, getting amongst a group of friends while you're drinking beer and hashing it out that way doesn't necessarily seem advantageous to better health.
Well, what I'll say that is good about that is like where you're talking about confirmation bias, finding scouring Reddit until you find the answer that you want. Like, your friends won't bullshit you on that. Like, if your friends actually think that you're being a hypochondriac and are like, dude, you're fine. You pulled a groin muscle. Your testicle isn't going to explode. You're just, why don't you give it a day? And if you're still worried, then let's go to the doctor. But like, I think.
Have you iced it? Have you rested it? Have
Yes.
you given it like a week off of strenuous activity? Have you done any stretching? Okay, yes.
Yeah, and then, or your buddy's like, oh, you did this? Well, I remember I was playing soccer and I did this, and the same thing happened to me. But so it's like a way of easing your mind, and then once your mind's at ease and they're like, go to the doctor and get it checked out, like, then you're like, okay, maybe I should just go get it checked. Like that,
right.
To me, that's good because your friends aren't going to bullshit you because they care about you. As far as physicians are concerned, dude, I made a doctor's appointment a month ago. My doctor's appointment isn't for another month and a half. Going to your doctor is not for immediate medical needs. Is just not a thing anymore, unfortunately. So I made an appointment the beginning of July, so the beginning of this month, and it was for September 17th. I was like, holy shit, there's nothing in between? Like, nah, sorry, bummer. And at this point, I almost have to remind myself every day of what I'm going to the doctor to ask them in a month and a half at this point.
Right.
I'm like, why did I make that doctor's appointment? Oh, yeah, right, okay, it's not serious, right? No. And I had
I also when I made my first appointment a couple months ago in like a decade, I hate to say that, Sarah, it was part of the agreement of getting married that I was going to start going routinely and getting blood work done. I did have to wait like 6-7 weeks. And they ask a very specific question about heart problems, because if you have heart problems, they'll see you right away. I almost just did that. Be like, yeah, oh man, I haven't my heart's thumping
through the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, my
like
blood pressure.
Over.
Sadly, my blood pressure is like fucking picture perfect. Not even just for my age, just for a human. And I couldn't bullshit him on that. But no, so I had my vasectomy back in March, and then a few weeks ago, I got off of my lawnmower, and I get off the lawnmower like Commander Riker in Star Trek Next Generation. Like, you know, he always swivels his leg over the chair. Because the steering wheel's so close. As soon as I stepped down, I felt like someone dug a fucking sewing needle into my right nut. And I was just, and I didn't know if I was going to make it to the house. Like, I was, like, dragging my right leg across the lawn. And I'm like, you know, being a dude, I'm like, well, let's just give it a minute. Maybe you pulled something, nerve, blah, 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 blah. This went on for several days. I gave it about a week. And then I finally went to an urgent care. And they were like, okay, listen, we don't have an ultrasound machine. We don't have an x-ray tech on hand. We don't have, like, so you have nothing that can internally look at my body to see if there's something wrong. And I had some fucking, like, tiny Nigerian woman who apparently has only seen her husband's penis. And I'm like guiding her, like, grabbing her finger. I probably sexually assaulted her somehow. It's like, no, touch this. This is where I need you to feel. And you know what she said? You should probably go see your primary care physician or urologist. I was like, I'd love to, but
it takes
here.
a while. Yeah, right.
So I need to figure out if my testicle is going to explode, because then she introduces, well, you could go to the emergency room. And my question to her was, why?
Do I need to? Yeah.
Is this an emergency?
Yes.
And she said, I don't know. I said, well, and I thankfully had been on AI asking all these questions, which is the only reason I went. And I tried to put confirmation bias into all of my prompts into AI, and AI kept circling back. Grok would not let me off the hook. Grok was like, I get what you're saying, however. I'm like, fuck you, Grok. I got to go to a goddamn urgent care. Thanks so much. But I was grateful because it didn't let me off the hook. So again, I feel like if the only option you have is to ask the most advanced technology humans have ever created, I'm willing to trust it to a point. I want human confirmation, but if I can't have that, I will trust what it tells me. Because you said some people would say if it's read all the modern medical literature that it's a conspiracy, but the people practicing medicine, they're part of the conspiracy then too, right? So they're only going to tell you the same thing Grok's telling me. So yeah. I guess I'd trust it. I guess I would trust the AI as much as I would trust the doctor.
And the sad thing about that is, and this was a bit of a paradigm shift, I want to say like 15, maybe 20 years ago, where they wanted to stop in certain situations. And I had to be bland about certain situations because coming up with something specific just doesn't necessarily add to what I'm about to say. But running all these tests, and they were running all these tests to rule things out, but these tests cost a lot of money. And the thing of it was, it deemed, the doctors admitted that we do that to avoid medical malpractice. So that way, it's like we had to rule all these things out. Like, all right, well, do you really need, examination A, a fucking CAT scan for these types of symptoms? Well, no, and it was kind of unfortunate because like doctors were being, pretty blunt and upfront about the fact that like, we don't want to be put in a position where we're getting sued for millions and millions of dollars. And that spawn, I thought of that because you have this tiny Nigerian woman who probably doesn't know what's happening, but probably doesn't know what to diagnose as you're sitting there, and I'm laughing as you're like, right here. What is that? That's my scrotum. And then like, I think you need to see your urologist. I've talked to like offhand, my uncle, who's a ear, nose, and throat doctor, ear and laryngologist, I think. And I mentioned something about like my ankles being shoddy, and he was like, do you need to go see a physical therapist or a sports physician? I was like, really? You can't give me like a once over? He's just like, no. I'm not doing it. Yeah. So
well, no, and that's look, they're two. Heads and tails, buddy. Those are two different areas of the body and different.
I know part of that had to do with my ignorance about like specializations. Like,
sure.
You're a doctor. You're an MD. You run a lot.
But I feel like if you're, if you are working at like an urgent care, I feel like you are a Johnny come lately of like you should be of like all, like I'm not saying you should be a master of any one area, but you should be at least a layman of all things.
Yeah. What's the highly contagious kind of cold like strep throat?
Yeah.
I thought I might have been exposed to it, and was like, checked in, sat in the waiting room for 10 minutes, was in there, explained to I guess the physician on call there, and I was like, blah 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 blah. I may have been, I don't know. Can you detect it early? And he's like, yeah. Like, open your mouth. And he's like, now you're good. Like, that quick? You don't need any more tests? He's like, no, man, no. I know what I'm looking at. You're fine. You're good.
Yeah.
Clean the house, boss.
They're looking for a color and an inflammation, and
yeah.
And the problem with my balls was like, once they got in there and rooted around, like everything feels different. So you can't just go in and say, oh, well, that doesn't feel normal. I don't know what I guess it's going to take another decade or two for me to be like, that's what my balls feel like now, because there's like stringy shit where stringy shit used to not be. So that's where we are.
Yeah, Mr. Merweek diagnosed you as just getting old. What? Yeah, this is it, man. Well, what did you do? Well, I did the Captain Ricard swing over my chair. Yeah, you gotta stop doing that. You just can't do that anymore.
Gotta knock it off. No, I think what happened was basically the swimmers keep wanting to swim and they got nowhere to go and they build up, and then I guess I shifted my leg over and it shifted that bulge of man goo that can't go anywhere anymore, and it hit a pocket of nerves and it hurt for like, and it literally, because actually I got to give Grok some credit. It was like, if you're not going, basically it was like, look, if you're not going to go to the fucking doctor, take anti-inflammatories for about 2 weeks. If it doesn't go away by then, you definitely need to go fucking see somebody.
Yeah.
15 days later, everything's fine again. So again, that's AI. That helped me out.
And also, like, and again, talking to friends, it's now that I get a more granular view of what you were dealing with in 15 to 20 day mark. It is a sensitive area. It does take a lot longer for you to regenerate. Your testicles are sensitive, man. And the nerves are sensitive. So, it's not, no matter how much meat and protein you put in there. I mean, I didn't mean
lots
in your
meat.
junk.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, consuming, it's just going to take a little while longer. Here's a good example. I was probably 13, 14, wrestling around with a friend of mine. And that sounds weird. We were fake pro wrestling, like 3 or 4 of us, and in a tag match, of course. And he had this
not getting better.
Had this like kind of like a side table that we had pulled out to do like off the top rope stuff. And I just ran and tried to like jumped off, and it was a hexagonal shape. And the area between my big toe and the toe next to it, is at the pointer toe, went right into a corner.
That's so funny that you say pointer toe. Hold on,
I don't even know what I don't know.
No. I'm diagnosing it because like the big toe's the thumb. Yes, that's the pointer toe. Okay, continue. Pointer toe. It's
the soft tissue area right between them, and then maybe a little bit further down the foot hit the point of this nightstand, and it was sore for like a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that fucker was like sensitive to the touch for about a week.
Well, dude, I mean, think about this. Like, you get like your arms don't really get sunburned. Like, okay, let me amend that. Your forearms don't really get sunburned.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're
man,
exposed to the sun all the time. Yeah,
but man, you pull your shoulders up a little bit for half an hour, you're fucking doomed. Like that area of your body, especially in modern humans who wear shoes. Man, you could flick that thing with a fucking feather and probably injure it. I can't, whack it into a corner of a fucking table. And I love how, by the way, I remember we tried to do a tables match in our fake wrestling once, and we used an actual real fucking coffee table. Yeah, it doesn't quite break like a folding table.
Destructurize it. You didn't take out any of the support beams. Yeah, human evolution, whether what it's going to look like in the next 100 years, 200 years, I would hope that people would be okay with their shins looking weirder for a little more meat on the front.
Ooh, that's a good point. Because of the because of mixed martial arts and the UFC, do you think that humans will evolve? How many thousands of years do you think humans will evolve better shins?
I don't know. I hope they do. God, I hope they do, because about once a month I take something right smack dab on the bone, and I look like fucking Peter Griffith. Like,
Well, you know what those guys do to like strengthen that? Like,
oh, they just bang wood all day. Well, they kick wood all day.
well, I mean, they start out with like, like stiff mats and everything, but they literally are breaking, not breaking, but they're causing stress fractures in their shins that eventually fills in with more material, and that's how they get that fucking hard. And that's,
Yeah.
Well, it's the same. Pitchers, what is it? Don't pitchers like end up growing like what is almost like, if you put it under an X-ray, would look like the nub of like a sixth finger or something?
That I didn't know. Really, they build up enough calcium on the end.
There's something that I could be wrong with like finger, but there's some kind of growth that like Major League Baseball pitchers like end up with like structurally in their hands because of like the repetitive motion and the grips that they're doing all the time.
Really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they need to direct that into the elbow.
Yeah. Yes, they do. That's another good point. Like, it's our kid's gonna be born with like Tommy John surgery already complete out of the womb.
That's it. Do you think you have a pitcher? It doesn't even like maybe. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's Tommy John him up.
Who is that? Jennifer Finch, was that the softball chick?
Yeah.
So if I was able to harvest a Jennifer Finch egg and some Nolan Ryan sperm and breed that child in utero, would it be ethical for me to have the doctor reconnect the elbow tendon and let him grow that way?
Unethical? To me, no. I think that ethics out the window. I think if you manage to get Nolan Ryan sperm and a Jenny Finch egg, I think you've bypassed all ethics.
Listen, let me tell you something. You give me a bottle of whiskey, one bottle of whiskey, I think I can make it happen. Same
right,
night.
So you got a Mario and Princess Toadstool, Jenny
Yes.
Finch, and then you got to whack off Nolan Ryan. That might be harder.
That'd be an honor.
That's right. Just sit back, strike out, King. Oh.
Listen, 2 balls and 3 strikes, and I got it. It's out.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I think the friends have it. Listen, we're not saying make AI the end-all be-all of your medical evaluation, but if it is your initial evaluation, I am 100% friend on this, especially because I think there's a lot of people out there that before AI didn't even try to figure out what the fuck was wrong with them. Just walked it off.
Right. Time will take care of this.
Yeah.
I do think there's another caveat to this is don't go to your primary care physician telling you what, this is what AI recommends. Just curb that. Let them be the professionals at that point.
I would say let AI get you there. Like I said, I've had it. It's a very specific experience, but I would say, like, in the past, that a younger me would not have even gone to have a human evaluate me. I would have just suffered.
Yeah.
Indefinitely. And AI got me to the door, and, $50 copay. By the way, okay, friend or foe's over. Friends got it. AI wins. No, I go up and I fill out all my information. I give them my insurance and all that stuff. And then that's when she proceeds to tell me, because again, it's my testicles. So they have to use some kind of imaging to see what's going on inside there. And the lady at the desk is like, oh, we don't have this, or this. And then she goes, so what are you going to do? And keep in mind, this is a guy who does not, I've been to the doctor 3 times in 25 years. For specific things that I needed. I've had to sign up as a new patient 3 times now to see a primary care physician. And so she looks at, so what do you want to do? I'm just like, bitch, I'm here. I was like, maybe just peace of mind? Yeah. They can look at it and tell me something, yes or no? I don't know.
You tell me. You want me to drop trowel? I'll drop trowel. You want to take a peek? Take a peek. I'm not going to sit here and do jumping jacks. Tell you that.
No, but she was like, it's a $50 copay, so what do you want to do? like basically saying like we can't do shit for you, and it's gonna be $50. Do you want to spend $50 for nothing? I was like, I'm gonna spend $50 to have some medical. So they did have me piss in a cup, and they said you don't have there's no infection, so you're probably okay-ish. But yeah, you need to get. Yeah, but dude, this Nigerian chick, and I know it's probably a cultural thing. So I can't even remember who. I don't even remember who initiated pulling their pants down, if it was me or her. But when I did fucking pull my pants down, she was holding up a sheet, and I was and I literally said, listen, this is exactly what I said to her. Listen, lady, I know the score, so you don't need the sheet. And I don't know what the sheet was for. There's only 2 of us in the room. Who's she shielding me from? I didn't get it. What are we doing here? Why are you doing that? Is someone going to randomly walk into the room? Isn't that like a lawsuit, even if my pants are not on the floor? Like, I didn't get it, dude. It was weird.
I just say if culturally, you're not allowed to watch another man drop trowel or anyone drop trowel, you're in the wrong profession.
Bingo. 100%.
You pissed away a lot of money.
And I'm not gonna lie either. I didn't know what kind of doctor was walking in. Didn't know if it was a dude. Didn't know if it was a chick. Didn't know whatever. But I was sitting in that waiting room or in that room on that tissue paper for like 30 minutes by myself. I actually made 2 phone calls while I was in there. Watched a bunch of TikTok, and then I was just like, man, it's a little chilly up in this bitch. I'm not gonna lie. I looked at some titties on my phone just to make sure some blood got flowing down there first. I was like, if I'm dropping my pants, I mean, I didn't want a boner or anything, but I'm just like, we're gonna get some circulation in the area before somebody takes a look at this thing.
Yeah.
I was satisfied. I was satisfied with my level of.
A friend of ours who had a certain medical procedure recently that had to make a way through his groin said that he said, like, man, every 20 minutes, a nurse had to come in. It was usually a different nurse. And were any of them 5s or middle-aged Karens? No, they were all mid-20s and smoke shows. And I had to lift up my shit and look at my jug. Like, okay, you look good.
Dude, that's one of the proudest moments of my life when that lady, when I was getting my vasectomy done, and she was telling the other, like the chick she was training, like, yeah, we want to do this, this, and this, because we don't want this to flop into the air. And I was like, I'm a flopper. I'm a goddamn flopper. That's right, baby.
He also said his cardiologist was came up through and made it to, I think, like high A or high A or double A for the Nationals, and then his arm gave out, and then became a cardiologist. He's like 6'3", stunningly handsome. He's like, I just thought old burnout pitchers just went back and taught football at a high school or something, or baseball, and they taught gym. No, all this beautifulness and intelligence just got consumed by a 6'3" fucking handsome man. Look at you. Oh God, there's no justice in the world. All right, folks. Stick around. Real quick break. We'll be back with Fun Fact Friday. And before you goes, Middle Classholes Bad Ass of the Month. It's a good one.
It's a case of very little brain going bad.
Go pump some neurons. Expand your craniums.
And now, Fun Fact Friday.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time. It's time for what? It's time for knowledge. It's time for Fun Fact Friday. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Brought to you, of course, by the Cuckster, the only left stern in the world. Unfortunately. Sorry, man, did you read the official cause of death? I haven't read it. I saw it came out.
Cardiac arrest.
Just cardiac arrest. I read that, I watched some fucking Yahoo on a fucking TikTok interview.
Like the undisclosed leukemia or something? Was that just some sort of buzz bullshit?
I don't know. What I read is that he had all these like spinal fusions and surgeries and shit done, and apparently, and God bless him, I'm glad he didn't. The Hawkster did not like give them enough time to heal before he went back to like working out and all that stuff. And so what one doctor said was that when you're going to fix something, that's one thing. When you're going to repair a fix, it's a whole nother thing. And it looked like he had damaged things that had been fixed by getting up and moving too quickly. Like, so just, but man, that's the nature of the fucking beast, man. You don't have to be, you don't get to be a global, worldwide fucking physical phenomenon because you were fucking complacent.
That's all he knows, man. I'm not saying that's all he knows. He knows a lot of things, but one of the things he knows a lot about is staying fit. And that guy even said, he's like, yeah, I can barely walk. My hip sucks, but I get to the gym every day and work out the arms, work out the chest. Yeah. And I will say, I recorded SmackDown when Sarah and I got back from dinner and a few drinks. Your boy Foxman here was a little tipsy. They immediately did a tribute to him. I got teary-eyed. And to my wife's credit, here it is, a 42-year-old man, not weeping, but getting choked up and a little moisty-eyed and one running down the cheek. She rubbed my back, single hand. And I was like, I was like, this is stupid. I know. She's like, nope, it's not stupid. It's not stupid. It's part of your youth. I get it. So,
dude, look, listen. I watched the Billy Joel fucking documentary. It's on HBO. It's excellent. It's 2 parts. It's 2.5 hours each, so it's a 5-hour documentary essentially. Dude, there's those songs, man. Like, one, they mean something to me. I love me some Billy Joel. I wish Alan was here because I know Alan loves some Billy Joel too. But like, Billy Joel was like, I don't speak in metaphor. When I write these songs, they're literally about something. Mm-hmm. And knowing that, it's like confirmation that like when I feel something from his music, it like Billy felt it too. It's a shared emotion. You shared that emotion with pretty much every man ages, I'm going to say like 55 to 25. So there's no shame in your game, sir.
Yeah, no, that's my, not my boss, like my boss's boss's boss, co-owner of my company, said, I was making some coffee a couple days after, and he's like, hey man, sorry about your loss. And I had to pause for a minute. I was like, oh, he means Hulk Hogan. I was like, oh yeah, part of my childhood died. And he was like, part of everybody's childhood died, man. I understand. And then he walked away, and I was like, fucking A, man, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no shame in that game, but if you want somebody that has plenty of shame in their game, make sure you check out the Cuckster. It's Cuckster for life. That's Cuckster for life on both Instagram and TikTok. And again, the Cuckster gave, I gotta admit, one of the best Hawkster tributes that I've ever seen. So if you haven't seen that, do go check it out.
Turn the cuck chair around and looked at the stained drywall for 10 count.
That's right, baby. A 10 stroke. So let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you on a Friday. Did you know the word mortgage comes from a French term that means death pledge, or a contract that only expires upon death?
Jesus Christ. Those shiesty bastards.
And not even coy about it, man. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even try to hide it. They're like some sort of Latin or Greek term. No. Mortgage death pledge. Wow, that's fucking great. I wonder if the evil bankers back when mortgages were a thing. I wonder how old mortgages are. I mean, you got to figure.
Look, I don't know. We're in a sensitive time here, but I always think back to The Merchant of Venice, and it's a Shakespearean play. If you're not aware, it's where the term Shylock comes from. That's one of the main characters' names, and he demands a pound of flesh. And back in the day, they didn't really let you out of your debts. You had to pay them.
Yeah. That's what Chevy Chase says in Dirty Work. He's like, you owe a bookie money, and he breaks your arm, and you still owe him money. I don't get it.
Oh, that's so good. Dirty Work. I watched it about 5 years ago. I watched it shortly after Norm died, and I haven't. Yeah, I got to watch it again and again and again. Did you know having 5 fingers on each hand is a recessive gene? Polydactyly, having 6 fingers on each hand, is actually a dominant gene.
So we've more or less breeded that out, I suppose.
Yeah, we've repressed it. I'm wondering if there's a theory that human evolution is from, a lot of our evolution is because of throwing things. because that's how we got here. I would imagine you and I both know, as being baseball fans, like a palm ball doesn't necessarily create velocity. So if you
use it as a changeup,
it's going to make a slower pitch. So if you had 6 fingers and you were throwing shit at like wild animals who were trying to fucking murder you, and then all of a sudden, like, homeboy with 5 fingers comes along, has got like an extra 10, 15 miles per hour on his rock ball, like, that might be the one that survives.
Yeah. Yeah, that's there's a group of cats at the Hemingway house in Key West that all have an extra digit.
That sounds
all of them, and there's a lot. I mean, it's not like 2 or 3 cats that roam the premises. There's probably like 30.
Now, are they like primarily like? Are they okay? Are they roaming cats? Like, are they outdoor cats essentially, but live inside occasionally, or are they well taken care of?
You know, my guess is that I mean, there was food out. People were petting them. They were friendly. There were a few that were a little more skittish than others. So my guess is like mostly house cat, because people they're taken care of. They're fed. They're not like oh, we need to go out through Key West and find rats and whatever else we can get our paws, our 6 paws on. Yeah. But no, they're house cats to the Hemingway establishment. But again, you say a dominant gene, and they all breed amongst one another.
Sure, yeah. But I was just thinking, like, but as far as like throwing, having less appendages in the way is a good thing. But I would imagine like slicing and fucking stabbing it'd be good to have an extra knife on your hand. Yeah.
There was a pitcher for the Marlins, I want to say like 20-ish years ago, that had extra digits. Yeah. Don't remember who it was. I have to look it up, but I also had extra toes as well. 6 and 6 on the feet.
Dude, by the way, has something popped up about Jim Abbott recently? Because I've seen a lot of Jim Abbott clips like popping up.
Well, they did a 30 for 30 on him on ESPN.
All right.
Just kind of like his basically by kind of high school up until the climax is when he threw a perfect. Did he throw a perfect game or a no hitter with the Yankees? I think it was a perfect game.
Dude, yeah. If you want to feel inferior in life, just fucking go back and watch Jim Abbott perform. Wade Boggs had a good fucking quote on that, and it was like, so this guy with one arm. I was like, I'm just gonna line drive up the middle. I'm gonna go 4 for 4 today. And he said first at bat. Yeah, he puts one right at Abbott. Boop, boop, boop. Pops the glove on. Throws to first. He's like, fuck. That guy earned my respect immediately.
Yeah. And he was part of the Angels had a good pitching staff around that time. It was him, Mark Langston, and Chuck Finley. 3 lefties. They just couldn't hit worth a shit. So there was that. But
that old chestnut.
They send in Abbott to hit. Get in there.
and he did.
He did, I know. And when they did interleague play, he actually had a couple hits.
It's fucking amazing, dude.
Can you imagine that the pitcher? You said Wade Boggs felt bad about hitting back. Imagine the pitcher be like, "All right, one-handed guy, easy out."
I mean, yeah, dude. Like I said, if you want to feel inadequate, you listening to this could not hit a Major League Baseball pitcher with 2 hands and 2 good arms. This guy had 1.5 good arms and 1 hand, and he fucking got hits in Major League. He hit like over 200. That's fucking more than respectable.
And you'll be amazed. I met a guy. I ended up becoming friends with him later on. I was out of college and he was in college, but he tore a ligament in his forearm in a flag football game, trying to give someone like a minor stiff arm. And basically had to be in this sling where his arm and hand was more or less useless for about 3 months while he was a senior in high school. And I remember eating with him, and I was like, is it tough? He's like, actually, no, like, I'm actually impressed at how well I've adapted. I've learned to tie a tie my shoe, typing. The brain's an amazing thing. Once you're, I mean, I have no choice. I have to learn these things. I don't have to learn to tie a tie, but I was like, damn, man, you've adapted pretty quick. And like, how much longer do you have that on? He's like, a month or so.
Yeah. No, I mean, you just find workarounds. That's why we're top of the food chain, baby. Let's see. Did you know It is not uncommon for people to feel the urge to poop just before having a heart attack.
Oof, God, now you're gonna make me fucking queasy for the next 6 months.
I know, right?
Uh-oh, here it comes. Here's the big one. Oh, okay, I'm all right.
Elizabeth, give me some toilet paper.
This is actually it's a good story, a good pooping story for you. We had burrito bowls tonight. By the way, Aldi makes an absolutely phenomenal pre-seasoned burrito, hunk of meat. Slow cook it, do it for like 3 or 4 hours. It is wonderful. So it's rice, cheese, beans, sauteed onions and peppers, a little bit of lettuce, and I have some other toppings, salsa, some radishes and things like that. Long story short, your boy got a little bubble gutty. And then recently I found out Sarah is enjoying this thing where she hugs me like above my shoulders and I hug her below the shoulders and lift her up, and it stretches her lower back and at certain times pops it, or at least softens it up to where she can kind of twist her back and pop it. And she asked me now like every other day to do it. And tonight I was like, lifted her up and then put her down. About 5 seconds later, she's like, "Wait, am I that heavy?" And I was like, "No, your boy just about pooped his pants."
I almost had a heart attack.
almost had a minor coronary inflammation. Yeah, no, man, that's wild. Dude. So and I wonder, like, that's got to be, the cardiologists or medical professionals just had to have like seen that as like a repetition or commonplace. Like, so how'd you feel? You survived a heart attack, man. Right before I thought I was going to poop my pants.
I'm wondering because like obviously the heart's having a hard time like pumping the blood. I'm wondering because that's like one of the lower points of your trunk.
Yeah.
If so much blood like pulls up down there that it feels heavy and it feels like you got to take a dump.
Yeah. And then you ask them after you passed out, like, did I poop myself? No, sir, you're fine.
Dude, the best thing was you going all the way back to the conversation we were having before about like having too many medical tests. I ended up getting a the fucking magnet scan. What's that? MRI.
MRI, yeah.
I remember the lady telling me like, all right, I'm going to be injecting this dye into your system. You are going to feel like you're peeing your pants.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, this is what she said. She's like, I'm not saying you're not peeing your pants, but I'm saying you're probably not peeing your pants. And lo and behold, that shit, I see it going into the fucking IV, and like 2 seconds later, I'm like, like Beavis and fucking Butthead. Like, it's like, what's going on? I was like, it feels like I'm peeing my pants.
Sarah had one done. Same thing. Nurse was like, have you ever had one of these done before? No. Same spiel that you got. Yeah, it's going to feel like you're peeing yourself. And yeah, instantaneously, she was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's actually kind of a fun sensation. It's like a good. If I could do that at parties for people, I'd be like, hey, anybody else? Who's next?
Yeah.
It's good. Good times.
You got any? When you're about
any
to
radioactive dye?
You got any like the same thing dentists have when about to fill a cavity?
Oh, God. By the way, when I did, I probably told you guys this, but yeah, when I did have the vasectomy, like I had like the nitrous tube. The guy had like literally told me like, hey man, can you just back off that a little bit? So I was like, I started giggling like while he was like cutting my balls. Yeah. Drugs, man. Drugs, man.
I opted against it when I got my wisdom teeth pulled. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, listen, I'm not a big, if you insist, I'll do it, but I'm not a big fan of it. If you can just do the local, I think I'll be okay. And he's like, all right. I mean, we've done this before, but it's all about pain tolerance. And I was like, if it gets to be too much, I'll let you know. So, okay, fine. Go through it. No problems. I go into a waiting room. And mind you, I drove there and I planned on driving back, and I did. And I sat there for 5 minutes and he comes in. He's like, are you all right? And I was like, I feel 100% fine. I mean, my cheeks feel swollen. He was like, you, sir, are a manly man. All right. Take her easy.
God, listen, I have a rule. I don't like to do hard drugs, but when a medical professional offers them to me,
that's right.
I take them.
That was Michael Jackson's demise.
That's a good point.
He was doing it himself.
It was a good ride, though, baby. Did you know? Al Capone's business card said he was a used furniture salesman.
Wow. Owned used furniture shops in Chicago. I wonder if there were any used furniture shops, and I wonder if anyone bought them from that place.
What
people were just like, don't go there.
First, I was like, that is the most bullshit, like, professional title I've ever heard. And then you think about, like, the Great Depression and all that stuff. There was probably a lot of, and, furniture from that era, like, people are clamoring for it these days because it doesn't fall apart. It's like made a real...
Yeah, the demand for it, at least, during the Depression, was probably reasonably high, and he didn't pay a fucking nickel for any of it.
Oh, hell no.
Whatever he sold it for is profit.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, man. That's a good gig. I guess it's good.
And then if you had to launder money, if you have to make it look legit and filter it.
Yeah. You see all these tables? I bought it. Yeah, it's all profit. Look at it.
That's right. Yeah.
It's all scuffed. It's used. I'm a used furniture salesman.
He's an interesting dude. I've read his Wikipedia page a number of times when he got admitted to Hopkins and how bad syphilis wreaked havoc on him. Just how deteriorated his brain was.
Dude, it's literally a parasite that eats holes. I mean, your brain's basically like stiff cream cheese.
Yeah.
And these worms.
And he didn't have AI to steer him in the right direction.
Hey, Grok, what's going on up here?
I'm sure all of his drunk friends are like, yeah, you're fine. You're good.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the one guy you don't want to be like, tell him he's acting squirrely.
That's right. Nah, Al, you're as sharp as ever. It's a tack. As a what?
Are you sure? I feel like eating paint today. Paint's delicious.
That's right. Let's dabble some out here. Yeah. And then I think he got so bad that they just let him out of jail just to rot in a house in Florida.
Yeah. Hey,
on that used furniture.
That's right.
That rocking chair that creaked.
And finally, did you know? Oh, this is sad. I'm almost sad I picked this one for the last one, but did you know? Whales don't die of old age. Eventually, they just don't have the strength to resurface and slowly drown.
I know that because on a similar Fun Fact Friday, you gave a fact about a whale. And because you gave a fact about whales about 3 Fun Fact Fridays ago, 3 weeks ago, where you said blue whales fart bubbles are like the size of a fucking Cadillac or something.
Yeah, like you could ride one up if you ran out.
Yeah. It's about 3 or 4 years ago you gave something about whales, and I had mentioned that, and you and Alan didn't know that. Yeah, they can't surface anymore and drown.
Wow.
And they either wash up and are eaten, or they sink to the bottom and are eaten. Circle of life, man.
It all ends the same way, baby.
Or there are times where they get to a beach that's usually usually it's public beaches, and they don't want to spend the money to pull them off, so they just blow them up. Being like Coast Guards and shit.
Wait, do they blow them up, or do the gases just build up inside their decaying body and they end up exploding?
So that happens, but there are times where basically just it doesn't, to tow it off or to get like some sort of flatbed tractor trailer. It's just going to cost way too much money. So they decide, blow it up, and we'll just put the pieces in probably a couple hundred lawn bags, and then just kick the rest in the ocean. Yeah, they'll do that. I don't know who makes that decision. I don't know if it's Coast Guard or the town or some fucking bloodthirsty sheriff who hasn't shot his gun in 6 years.
All right, boys.
Blow it up. Yeah.
Get the tannerite, shove it in the blowhole. Let's take some target practice.
They send the rookie into the mouth. Get in there.
Oh, shit, I had something else. But that, my friends, is, in fact, your Fun Fact Friday.
That didn't end on a soft note. I get it. It's, you don't want to, I don't know, why did you say you don't want to hear that? Just because you don't want to discuss death like that?
No, it's just like, what a sad fucking, like, okay, so these, all right, I think of us men, like, as we age, we still think we're capable of something. You're a whale. You take this giant deep breath. You go way down. You go do your whale thing, and then you're like, oh shit, nah, shit. I think I got to poop. And then you just never make it back, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's it, man. You never knew that you took your last breath, but you certainly did. But this is what I want to say. So that big earthquake just happened off of like the coast of Russia or whatever, and all tsunami warnings.
Yeah. Aren't
Like-
they with most of Alaska's kind of in prep right now?
Yeah, but whales are like dead whales are like coming up on shore.
Mhm.
And I always just thought, like, I don't know, you just never think about it. Like, I always thought like the safest place to be during like an earthquake or something would be like underwater. And I'm wondering, like, what killed the whales? Is it like the tremendous vibration of the water from the earthquake?
Yeah, I don't know, because I've read most aquatic life, especially like during hurricanes, are safe.
Well,
now, I don't know how many
because
whales,
but a hurricane's like a surface level. You know what I mean? Like all the disasters on top. Like it's something like this, like where there's an earthquake deep under the ocean, like where their bearings thrown off. Like they took that breath and they're like, bro, what the fuck's going on? Like they're dazed and they didn't realize it was time to surface or how deep they were. Or again, did they get vibrated to death? I mean, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. And I also thought that being on a boat would be a good idea, but then I've seen what tsunamis do to people on boats, unfortunately. And
I'd also wonder, I think, if there's like other aquatic life suffered, or is it just whales? There's a bunch of fish, sharks, things of that nature. But I watched that. This stuck in my memory really good. But I was watching some Discovery Channel thing when I was a kid, and it was polar bears were eating a dead whale carcass. So much so that it was kind of near ice or land, but they definitely had to swim out like a couple hundred yards, and they were just sitting on top of it. And it wasn't, who's the narrator that's famous?
David Attenborough.
It wasn't him. So, but
yeah, not him.
I don't know, I'm just trying to like to give you a place and time here. But this polar bear is like, after eating a big chunk of it, is like digging his nose in it. It looks like your dog who's trying to itch his back on the carpet. It's like the polar bears can't get enough of the rotting carcass. I was like, God damn, look at those bastards go.
Oh, dude, there was one. Again, David Attenborough, sure. No, but it's a dead whale, and there's just great white sharks, and they're just circling it, and each chomp it was almost like a cartoon. Each bite was the shape of a shark head, just
Yeah.
like Jesus
Load up.
Christ, man. Yeah, and there was like a guy standing on top of it getting footage. Who's got the balls in this picture? Crikey.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Folks, tonight before you go, we bring to you Middle Classholes Bad Ass of the Month. This takes place actually in Morocco, but by way of people from France. So I don't know if that sets the table for anything. A couple French folks. On July 5th, just after the 4th of July celebration that these people weren't celebrating, a Paris man left.
Wait a second. A bunch of French Moroccans celebrating the 4th of July. That is a wild story.
Right. It reads 62-year-old French man in France put police on high alert after calling emergency services to report that he had forgotten his wife at a highway gas station and couldn't remember which one. On July 5th, a Paris man left on vacation from Morocco with his wife and daughter in the family car. They made several stops at gas stations along the way, but during one of those breaks, something peculiar happened. Around 4:30 in the morning, the man, whose name has not been revealed to the media, left the gas station without realizing that he had forgotten his wife there, only to realize his mistake about 300 kilometers, 186 miles later, and quickly called emergency services for help. In a bizarre conversation, as the man not only had to explain how he could have forgotten his wife at the gas station, but also had trouble remembering which gas station it was.
186 miles. So, okay, what is it? It's about an hour every 50. So, that's 2, 3, So 3.5 hours.
Listen, read between the lines. He had had enough. That's it.
I don't know that. Listen, here's my theory on this.
Maybe he had dementia. Maybe I'm giving this 62-year-old the benefit of the doubt of the fact that he has all of his bearings about him. I'm gonna think in my own weird fantasy that he did, and he just said, "You know what? Fuck it. She's gonna learn a lesson."
I think what happened was, so 62. So he's probably been going on these road trips, and he probably hasn't daydreamed in years, decades maybe. And all of a sudden, he had all this alone time for his thoughts, just to consume every bit of him. And it was like, oh my God. Anthony went to the grocery store. He's waving his money. He was singing Billy Joel songs in his head. It's like, holy shit. I've had moments of clarity. Where is she? Oh my God.
It's too silent.
Yeah. I've contemplated too many things about my life for this to be real. What did I do wrong? And he realized he left her behind.
Yeah.
But he went back. Did he not go back?
He did. He called the authorities. I couldn't remember the gas station it was. About a couple ticks down the road. How many ticks? Oof, I don't know. About 4 Billy Joel albums, I would say. Ish. 2. But I think that the badassery in this to me is, I think that they were having a terrible time. I think that they weren't enjoying themselves. I think that he had threatened to say, like, you know what, if you keep this up, I'm just gonna fucking go, and then had it.
See, I'm going the complete opposite on you here. I think the badassery of it is the fact that he faced the music, and I think they were having such a great time that when he got back in the car and left without her, he was having all of these like fantasies, like, wow, man, life's great, blah, 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 and then realized that, oh shit, I haven't had time to compartmentalize how great life is because I've always had this thing yapping in my fucking ear. And then he got off on his own fucking tangent and then realized that he had time to himself.
Yeah. Does this ruin or end the vacation?
I guess it just
I think it ruins it a little bit.
It's a good fucking story, dude. Ah, man. It depends on what kind of mood she was in when he got back to her.
Yeah.
Man.
I said, luckily, the strange story has a happy ending. The police were able to locate the missing woman with the help of a mobile network operator by tracking her phone. She was at a motorway service station in some French de Cervez. I don't know if they have those in Morocco. I guess Morocco is close to France, albeit over the Strait of Gibraltar, 300 kilometers away from her husband, had realized she was missing. The woman had moved since 4:30 a.m., awaiting the return. So she's faithful.
Yeah, well, she didn't have a choice. So
yeah, that's right. Just sit there and listen to the sweet sounds of Billy Joel at a Moroccan gas station.
Hopefully, like, you just, you strike up a conversation with somebody. It's a fun time. I don't know, man. I'm trying to learn as I age, like, to just fucking take life as it comes and make the best of whatever fucking scenario you're in and make everything entertainment. I feel like maybe that's my advice to the world. I need to take a little more of it myself. Just, there's no good situation. There's no bad situation. There's just an opportunity for unique entertainment. So make every opportunity a unique scenario for an interesting entertainment session, and
that's right.
That's it.
This will make for a good story. People do say that.
No, I mean, like whenever like I'm reminiscing on anything from the past, like my best stories were fucking terrible when they happened.
Yeah,
but great when I tell them later in the day.
Yeah, that's like. It's weird. Like, as I've gotten older, a lot of my communal friend gatherings are tame by comparing them to what they were 20 years ago. And we usually reminisce about those times because something fucking odd happened. Someone got drunk and did something. Someone slipped up. Someone brought a fucking weird date to something. Someone got caught up in some weird fucking love triangle. Someone passed out at the bar and fell face first. It doesn't happen that much. anymore. But yeah, I find myself reminiscing about those times. And yeah, this guy at 62. Following a short investigation, police concluded the Paris man had genuinely forgotten his wife. So after reuniting with his family, they were allowed to continue their journey into Morocco.
Yo, all the sights and smells.
That's right. All right. I was going to say, Alan, Murr, tell all the kiddos and the people who forget their wives and Moroccan journeys where you can find the middle class holes.
Well, listen, we are on all of your social media platforms. So if you have Instagram, if you have TikTok, if you have X, if you have Facebook, just look up the Middle Class Holes. You will find clips of us talking shenanigans everywhere you go. And please, subscribe, like, share, please. YouTube, please. Subscribe to us. Yeah, it's not going to bother you. Yeah, all it's going to do is give us an opportunity to maybe monetize this thing a little bit and get it out to the rest of the world. If you enjoy it, hopefully somebody else will as well. Share it with your friends, and that's usually where I say go fuck yourself, but I don't want you to go fuck yourself.
No. Go pleasure yourself. And
yes, pleasure yourself.
The most normal way that you can find that's advantageous to your life. I think we concluded that Mario definitely wanted to boink the princess, and likewise, this isn't a one-way street.
I will say, I don't know that the princess necessarily wants to, and look, I don't think it's consequential that the princess wants to bang Mario. I think she should want to. I mean, even if it's a pity fuck, I think she should.
In the man's mind, it's like, ooh, playing hard to get. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's absolutely consequential that Mario wants a relationship with the princess. She doesn't have to want one with him, but you gotta leave the opportunity open. You can't retcon a fucking like cock block. That ain't fair.
Nah, you can't chalk this up to a friend zone extravaganza. We know where that leads. That leads to mental health issues and just depression.
Yeah, and if you think you have depression, ask Grok or ChatGPT.
I mean, Mario's a proud guy, good plumber, union leader. He get laid.
I may not be the type of chick he wants to lay, but it's there for him. It's an opportunity.
That guy moonlighted as a referee for Mike Tyson fights. God damn it!
He sure shit did, and he called him fair. I'll give him that.
He did. He came out and go, "One, 2, 3,
Oh, dude, Mario, by the way, also, listen, hell of a golfer. I don't know if you were aware.
That's right.
Good tennis player. Listen, maybe a little bit of a cheater, but soccer, pretty fucking good. And he pulled out a few moves that maybe aren't legal, but there ain't no Mario ref in that game when he's playing.
No.
By the way, great race kart driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, he's a man of many talents. So what woman, I feel like if he showed up on The Golden Bachelor, the bachelorettes would be like, oh my God, look, that mustache is a little bit much, but look at that hairy bastard.
How much do plumbers make? I mean, he's got a lot of recreational activities he's into.
The fact that he swims in his overalls is a little bit weird, but I can get over that.
Well, it is all the hair. He's just a little embarrassed.
That's right.
So listen. He's a little self-conscious about his body, but
who isn't?
Who isn't exactly?
Who isn't at that age?
Hey, listen. He might be into some drugs. Just saying. Performance enhancing. It happens.
That's right. Guys, he only eats mushrooms. Yada yada. All right, that's going to be it for tonight. We'll have Alan back next week and more fun with the Middle Class Holes. Next week, we got a big announcement. Stay tuned for that one. Take her easy.